What's the most disturbing thing a classmate ever did? In my junior year, we had a new student transfer in mid-semester. His name was Tyler. Quiet, kept to himself, always hovered at the edge of things. You know the type. Not bullied, not popular, just, there. But something about him always felt a little off. He'd stare at people too long, like he was studying them. He never blinked at the right times. He'd laugh at things no one else found funny, like during a video about trench warfare, or when someone mentioned their dog had died. No one knew much about him, and most people didn't want to. He had that energy that made you instinctively avoid eye contact. Things escalated during a unit in biology. Our teacher announced we'd be dissecting frogs the following week. Most of the class groaned or made jokes. But Tyler lit up. He started asking questions. Too many questions. Detailed stuff. Will we be using preserved specimens or fresh? Can we dissect beyond the muscle tissue? Is there any way we can keep our samples for further study? The teacher brushed it off. Said we'd be doing the standard protocol. Dissection day came. My usual lab partner was out sick, and the teacher paired me with Tyler. I remember dreading it the moment I heard his name. When the trays were passed out, Tyler jumped into action. He arranged the tools like a surgeon, humming to himself. From the very first cut, he was focused. More than focused. He was smiling. Not a nervous smile or a reaction to the situation. This was something else. It looked like joy. Everything about his dissection was precise. He followed the instructions to the letter until the teacher stepped out to take a phone call. That's when things got weird. Tyler leaned in toward me and said, "Want to see something cool?" Before I could respond, he started making small, careful incisions that weren't part of the curriculum. He sliced in patterns, symmetrical, deliberate, like he was drawing something with the scalpel. "I've been practicing," he whispered. "My mom's cat disappeared last month, then the neighbor's dog. I've gotten better." My brain stalled. Did he just say that? He kept talking, casually, as if it were no big deal. I used to mess up the skin, couldn't get clean cuts, but now I can. I stood up, heart pounding, told the teacher I felt sick, and asked to go to the nurse. I didn't stop at the nurse's office. I went straight to the front office and asked to go home. I told my parents everything that night. They called the school. The school called the police. By the end of the week, Tyler was gone. Later we learned the police had searched his house. What they found was worse than I imagined. In his bedroom closet, they discovered a locked metal box. Inside were collars. Over a dozen of them, some still tagged, others with names written in faded marker. They matched reports of missing pets from the neighborhood. They also found a sketchbook filled with anatomical drawings. Frogs, birds, cats, detailed illustrations of dissected bodies. Some pages were annotated like a science textbook. Others had photos glued in, real photos, each one more disturbing than the last. Tyler never returned to school. The administration said he was withdrawn for medical reasons, but we knew. His family moved not long after. House sold, no forwarding address. We never heard anything official from the police, just whispers. Some said he was sent to a juvenile psychiatric facility. Others thought it was more serious than they let on. I'll never forget that day. The way he smiled, the way he said it so casually, like we were talking about a science project. And just before I left the lab that day, as I stood to excuse myself, he looked up at me and whispered one last thing. "Frogs are just practice."